So let's talk about pressure. Those moments when life just feels like it's closing in on you from all sides. But what if those moments aren't actually meant to break us? What if they're really here to show us something amazing that's already inside? Let's dive in. We've all been there, right? That sudden, unexpected pressure that feels completely out of our hands. It's that feeling of being squeezed. But what if we could look at that feeling in a totally different way? And this is the big reframe. It's the idea that feeling squeezed isn't some problem we have to fix. It's actually an invitation, a chance to look inside and discover something new about ourselves. Okay, so let's really unpack this. What exactly is the squeeze? And why is getting a handle on it so important for our own growth? Think of it like a catalyst. It's some kind of external pressure, maybe a health issue, a financial problem, a big change in a relationship that makes us finally face the blockages we've been hiding. Sometimes even from ourselves. That's the moment the real learning starts. And here's the kicker. You can't plan for it. The squeeze just shows up, uninvited. It's sparked by what's called an inconvenient reality. It's not about what we want to happen. It's about what we're here to learn. So when this pressure hits, what's our first knee-jerk reaction? Well, it's almost always to resist, to push back. Let's explore why our minds do that. I love this comparison. Just look at this. On the left, that's our ego's default mode. It wants to control everything, avoid anything uncertain. But the path to real growth, over on the right, is the total opposite. It's all about embracing the unknown and trusting the process. They're two completely different ways of living. And this right here, that's the voice of the ego, isn't it? That frantic inner dialogue that's just screaming, change this, move that, just make this feeling stop and make me feel good now. It couldn't care less about learning. It's just desperate for some relief. You see, our brain is fundamentally wired to keep us safe. And it does that by trying to predict what's coming next based on what's happened before. The problem is, it's all just an illusion. We were never really in control to begin with, and holding on to that idea is exactly what keeps us stuck. Okay, so if running away and resisting doesn't actually work, what's the alternative? Well, it turns out to be something that sounds deceptively simple: the power of just staying. And here's what that actually looks like. Instead of fighting the feeling, you just acknowledge it's there. Instead of running, you breathe into it. You start to trust that, hey, you can handle whatever comes up. And you begin to realize that deep down, these experiences, they can't actually break you. And this is the core promise right here. We are so much more resilient than our minds give us credit for. If we can just stay with the discomfort, just for a little while, experience itself will prove to us that we have the strength to get through any storm. And this is why it's all so important. These same challenges have a way of showing up again and again because they're part of our evolution. The idea is that the universe simply isn't going to let you skip a lesson that's meant for your growth. So what happens when we finally stop resisting and start staying with what is? Well, we start to see something that was actually there the whole time. This metaphor is just so powerful. Think about it. Your true nature, your inner peace, your strength, that's the sun. It is constant. It's always shining. All the drama, the worry, the fear, that's just clouds passing in front of it. Right? Just because it's a cloudy day doesn't mean the sun has vanished. And in the same way, just because your mind is cluttered with anxious thoughts, it doesn't mean your innate brilliance, that core of peace inside you, is gone. It's just hidden for a little bit. Here's another great way to picture it. When we're caught up in the squeeze, it's like we're stuck in the basement. We're lost in all the little details, surrounded by the drama. The whole goal is to get up to the balcony, where we can get some perspective and finally see things clearly again. So the big insight here is that we don't need to go out and find peace or joy. It doesn't come from somewhere else. It was always there, underneath all the noise, just waiting for the clouds to pass and for us to reconnect with it. All right, let's bring this all home. This whole journey, from that feeling of pressure all the way to a new perspective, it creates a really profound and lasting change in us. And this is the real magic. That thing that felt like the absolute worst, the burnout, the crisis, the very thing that felt like it would break you becomes the foundation of your new strength. It's what gives you the wisdom and the compassion to help other people navigate their own squeeze. So let's recap the big ideas here. First, see those squeezes as opportunities, not problems. Second, remember that resisting them just keeps you stuck, but staying with them shows you a resilience you never knew you had. And finally, always remember that your inner brilliance is like the sun. It's always there, and your toughest moments can become your greatest gift to the world. This final quote just says it all, doesn't it? Don't shrink from the discomfort. Instead, expand into it. Grow from it. Become the one who can light the path for someone else, simply because you've been there. And that really leaves us with a question to sit with. Think about the pressures in your own life, not as problems you have to solve, but as invitations. What hidden blockages are they trying to show you? And what kind of brilliance is just waiting for you on the other side of those clouds?